Welcome to For Those Who Get It. It's a podcast not only about disabled people, but for disabled people. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Hayden Kristal, Colorado comic extraordinaire, nationally touring headliner. One of my, I think, first disabled comedian friends that I made doing comedy. I met you at my first comedy festival in St. Louis.
Yeah,
Very
where
fun.
we were back to back on every show that we were on.
Yep. The disabled section of the
Yeah.
festival. Very fun. And then just for the podcast, we can just do straight to us. So it's you don't have to look at the camera. We can just kind of chat.
Stare directly into. Okay, cool.
Hey.
Great.
We've learned since the Jamie interview how to better accommodate someone because my friend Hayden as well, if a doctor had to describe what you have, what would that be?
Ooh, it's called reverse cookie bite hearing loss.
Ooh.
So it's a sensorineural hearing loss.
Okay.
So it's not physical. It's not like there's a problem with my eardrums. It's a nerve issue.
Yeah.
And a reverse cookie bite, it means that I don't hear high frequencies or low frequencies, but my mid-range frequencies, it's just like a moderate to severe loss.
Okay.
So like alarms and people with very low voices I don't hear any of it.
Gotcha.
But the mid-range, it's just a moderate loss.
Where is my voice on the scale?
You are a little harder for me to hear.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate you still being my friend anyway.
Yeah, well, that's probably why, if we're being honest. But
you don't have to hear the stupid shit I say. Yeah.
it's so nice.
Yeah.
Well, and I always say the best part about being a deaf comedian is you don't have to listen to anybody's podcast.
There you
So
go. That's true. You just have to be on them.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
just hope that it works out.
And it's ableist if I'm not.
Yeah.
It's truly the best possible scenario.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Hell yeah. Well, I think you're someone who I think has really like made that. I think you inspired me a lot with like making it part of your brand as a comedian, like really like having that at kind of the forefront of what you talk about in your material. Because I remember watching your set at Flyover Fest. I was, I think, like less than a year into comedy, maybe like just over a year into comedy. And talking to you about just like how you were kind of pursuing it, going like the college route and like really like highlighting the disability aspect of things. How is that like? What are you doing now? Like you're doing a lot of headlining kind of stuff still, colleges, corporate?
Yeah, well, the college market has collapsed in on itself like a dying star.
I just got into it right at the wrong time.
Yeah, you picked the exact moment.
Yeah.
So that's less now.
Yeah.
I'm still doing a lot of corporate stuff. I still do a lot of speaking gigs. So I got into comedy through public speaking and teaching workshops about intersectional accessibility.
Mm-hmm.
So that part of it is still happening, although in this administration, significantly less.
Yeah. Those words are not allowed anymore.
No, exactly.
Accessible? Nuh-uh.
Yeah, just the whole thing.
We're putting up walls.
100%.
Tearing down ramps.
Yeah, literally. So any budget anybody had to bring me has been...
That's tough.
So I've been leaning into, doing more stand-up. The social media stuff has gone great. I've been doing a lot more like horse stuff.
You like horses?
It's almost impossible to tell.
I couldn't tell.
I try to keep it real close to the vest.
I know.
But still doing like the corporate and
very
that
cool.
kind of. I've been doing like horse corporates, which are the funnest thing in the entire world.
It seems like that community's really like taken to like you've kind of like become a real figure in the horse girl market.
It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Like I literally last week I was at a big horse trade show.
Yeah.
In the Northeast, and it was the funnest thing in the world.
That's incredible.
And Drew Lynch's wife, Mel, who I adore, came down to visit while I was there. And I was like, I don't know how to explain this to you as a non-horse person, but I was like, I'm so famous in this sphere.
I kind of get that. I'm like that with the Marfan community. I'm not famous anywhere outside of like Marfan conference.
Well, you're big a lot of places outside of.
Like, please, like, I love your stuff. But then, you walk anywhere else, you're like, don't worry. If we were at the right conference with a specific group of people, then I'd be a big deal.
Like the niche internet micro celebrity, like 100%.
Yeah. I think you had more of a national kind of exposure as well with the America's Got Talent run. You made it like 5th place?
Semifinals, whatever that would be,
wherever that is. Yeah. I remember that was like a lot of conversation around how was that whole process for you? Because I know that they love working with disabled comics as kind of a rule.
Well, so I love talking about this because I think there's a lot of misconceptions about it. So I applied to America's Got Talent because I responded to what I believed to be a scam I saw some guy post in a like Facebook group for comics, like a local one, like, hey, I'm coming to wherever, and he was like, well, I'm a producer for America's Got Talent too, and I would love to see your stand up. I was like, no, you're not. Yeah. You're not posting and like, hey, I'm coming to Sioux Falls. Yeah. Like, and it would have been 2022-ish maybe. So it was like, I mean, I was only doing stand up and speaking. Like, that was my whole job, and I got totally wiped out for about 2 years with COVID, and things were just starting to come back, and I was like, whoever this person is, can we swear on this podcast? Yeah. Whoever this asshole is, like, coming in and, like, trying to scam comics who are, like, have been out of work, essentially, for 2 years, have been struggling. I was just so mad about it, because I was like, you're not coming here to find people.
So you got into it to, like, take him down.
I was going to do one of those, like, you catfish the catfish bag, and then I lost control of that situation.
Well, and then, oops, I'm on America's Got Talent.
Oops, yep. Whoopsie daisies.
Whoa.
And one of my favorite parts is that, so I had a meeting with some of the everybody was super nice to me the whole way through. I had a meeting at one point. They were like, hey, we really like you. We think you're a great fit for the show. We aren't sure that we want to have you on this season or maybe next season because we think you're great and we know you're very different people, but we did just have a disabled comic from Colorado on last season because I was on the season after Josh Blue.
Oh, man.
And I was like, no, I see what you're saying. Yeah, we're very different comics, but also
but like,
it's a little niche.
But like I feel like they kind of have, don't they have one every season just about? Like,
yeah. I mean, but here's the other thing I talked about, and I kind of got soapboxy afterwards, is that like people love to say that like America's Got Talent, like that they're milking the sob story, or they want that. And like, I don't know how you feel about this. Politically, I'm fine with it if they're actually doing the work.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was one of the most accessible and like not just like they provided what I need, but like top to bottom accessible places. And this is only my experience.
Yeah.
So if other people have had a different experience, I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
But like when they were picking an interpreter for me, they told me, so this woman was like crazy well qualified.
Yeah.
But they told me that they picked her specifically because she also had horses.
Oh, wow.
And they said, like, it's going to be long days. And we thought it would be really nice for you to have somebody that you have something in common with. That's so great. You can talk about it just waiting. Yeah. And at first I was like, oh, cool. But then I thought about it. I'm like, that's kind of radical access.
Yeah.
Like, not
the fact
just
that they would go above and beyond the like legal requirement of what they have to do.
Right. I mean, we had to put it in. It's literally part of my contract. Like, there's a big penalty if you don't provide an interpreter because people just don't. And they're hiring me to come speak about ability or disability. And like,
giving them a perfect example of what's not accessible in front of their very eyes as you're telling them about it. That's
literally
crazy.
It's crazy town. But like the fact that they didn't just have a warm body there, that they went and thought about it and they're like, gosh, if I was sitting someplace with somebody where the communication was going to be difficult and this was going to be long hours, like hopefully they have something that they can chat about to make that time. It was just like radical access in a way that I hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
And I know that they have infinite money, but there was no complaining, there was no whining, there was no anything. Like the amount of like staging we did and the amount of input they let me have on like where I want to have the interpreter, like it was just like one of overall the best experiences that I've had in terms of access. So again, like you can milk that if you're going to do the work. Godspeed.
Here's the thing. I think like the whole term of milking tends to come from people who didn't get America's Got Talent because they feel like the reason is they're not disabled.
100%.
And if they were, then they would have gotten it. And it's like that like resentment of like, well, but all you did to get it was be disabled. So what I'm like, but like if you think about it, like, all I did was live a life with so many more hardships every single day that I have like embedded into my like set and built into like how I present myself that I'm more compelling to a national audience. Like disabled people tend to be better advocates for themselves than you can be for them,
100%. Well, we've talked about having to learn to be funny to make other people comfortable with your disability.
True.
But something so I used to be the TA for the ASL program at the University of Missouri.
Yeah.
And my boss there is an incredible woman named Dr. Stephanie Logan, who is deaf, and she runs the Deaf Leadership Education Advocacy for the Deaf program in Missouri. Yeah, she's wonderful. She's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And we were having this conversation once about somebody telling me that I only got something because of my disability. and I was really bothered by it. I was still in college. I mean, it must have been like 21 or 22.
Yeah.
And she goes, like, ask them if they would trade with you.
Yeah.
Like, ask them if they would switch. Ask if they would take your disability and everything that comes with it for the benefit that you got. I'm willing to bet that, like, most people wouldn't trade for a semifinal on America's Got Talent.
They don't see the everyday life of what it's like to live with a disability. They see you on America's Got Talent as a disabled person, but they don't see you as a disabled person every other day of the week.
Exactly.
Like, they think that they just would have to be disabled for as long as it takes for them to get onto the show, do their set, make a couple jokes, get out, like, and then just be like, all right, and now let me turn it back off. You know, it's a very like impermanent desire for them to have this like access to. I feel like it comes along with like the political climate right now too, with like everyone's like, oh, well, why did this person get this? Oh, there was some aspect of their identity factored in. Well, that can't be fair. It's like, well, but it's always been that way. It's just been the other way around.
100%.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and that's why I always ask myself, anytime I start to see myself like, I don't know, like, oh, they like, do you know what I mean? Or even like, and by that I mean like free parking.
Yeah.
Like, it really bugged me, like, that when I was in college, that, like, because I broke my ankle and had handicap parking for a while, and I was like, I can't believe that I don't have to pay for this. Like, I'm so jealous. I'm like, I wouldn't trade that.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't trade all the inaccessibility and all of the frustrations that come with that for this free parking. So anytime I'm like, would I trade the perceived benefit for the struggle that people have gone through to earn it?
It's interesting too within disability too, how like I see this in like my kids at camp. I have a joke about it where like one of my kids has a much more severe case of Marfan syndrome and is like blind in a wheelchair, but he got a much cooler Make-A-Wish and has since decided to use that to bully the other kids about
100%.
not getting as cool of a Make-A-Wish. And it's like those kids are jealous of the Make-A-Wish, but they're not jealous of his life. But like, you give him that, like, oh yeah, you did get the coolest Make-A-Wish, you win. Yeah. Because he doesn't win much, so he needs to win the thing he wins.
Yeah.
You know.
I get exactly. It's always that matter of perspective.
Yeah.
Like.
I think it's interesting. Like, how have you noticed a big crossover in the horse girl community with disabled folks?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I mean, there's. Like, horse folks is so broad.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of like therapeutic riding and like that kind of thing. And so, and then there's lots of people who have, I would say, like, on a day-to-day basis, I see more invisible disabilities.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, there's tons of amazing like para riders and I follow a bunch of them on TikTok, and
awesome.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I love seeing. I think I've noticed with Joe Marco's audiences, they tend to be like very theater kids, very like kind of niche interests. I feel like the niche interest groups are always very disabled. You know, like theater kids, anyone who has like something that's off the beaten path. A lot of times it comes from them not being able to participate in like the larger activities.
Yeah, that's a really
you kind of find your little area that like you feel comfortable in, and like that's accessible to you. You know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a study like out of Gallaudet University, which is the deaf university in Washington, D.C., that like the rate of self-identified LGBTQ people at Gallaudet is substantially higher than the rest of the country. And like, there's lots of theories as to why that is. Yeah. But mine is like, you've already got a thing.
Like radical self-acceptance. Like I am already a thing that some people in society are like weirded out by.
Yeah, you're already
like,
an outsider.
Let's just get it all out on the table. Why
like
not?
Again, if you're going to be a horse girl, you might as well be queer. You might as well be disabled. Yeah. Like, throw it on the pile.
Be a disabled horse girl. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like MBD.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I think it's like anything you can do to make yourself feel like you're getting a uniquely positive thing out of your disability, I feel like is a really like healing thing. I mean, my whole like heart surgery special, you know, no
which
one
was
wants
incredible.
Thank you, I appreciate it. No one wants to get heart surgery at like 26.
No,
but like, or 25. But like me going through that and having that to like channel that energy into really helped me feel like it's like, oh, this is just like a growth moment for me in life, you know, versus like a weird pit stop where I have to shut down my whole life for, you know, a month and a half.
Yeah, I think
which ended up being like 2.5 weeks, but it should have been a month and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, if the doctors had.
Yeah. The doctor said don't film a comedy special 3 weeks after heart surgery.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's like, so I think that I got into animals as a whole. I think so. Part of the reverse cookie bite loss is it's called kind of like a sneaky or insidious hearing loss.
Yeah.
Because like if we're just having a conversation face to face with minimal background noise, and I'm looking at you, your voice like you're easy for me to understand.
Yeah.
Like you cannot notice that I have a hearing loss.
Yeah.
Which like. But there's so much environmental stuff that I'm not getting. Like anybody has an accent, I'm done. If people have like a big bushy beard or like, and then I'm always like, I'm not racist, I'm disabled. Yeah. Same with masks. Like the past couple of years has been a nightmare of I believe in science.
Yeah.
Like I just can't talk. I just can't see through.
I need you guys, if we're all going to be very, very safe, I need you to learn sign language. I'm
sorry.
Like
thank you for protecting your community. We can't have a conversation about it, but like I support. It's just been I get low to the ground like a dog. Yeah. Like I'm not a Republican. I'm so sorry, but whatever the no homo version is of being like an anti-vaxxer lunatic. Yeah. But I lost track of where I was going there. I got so pivoted. Yeah, we're circling back. We're circling back.
Yeah, circle back. I think like. What were we talking about? Hold on.
I don't know.
We'll just reset
here.
Yeah,
we'll reset. We'll figure it out. I think like so with my hearing loss, it's like it's easy to not tell the extent of it.
Yeah.
But growing up, so I do a bit that I don't know if you've seen where I talk about how I was diagnosed with autism, and I don't know that I have autism. But I was put in because hearing loss and autism are both communication disorders. Yeah. And so I was put in a school for kids who have it. And now I explain I have what I would call type 2 autism that's lifestyle induced. Yeah. But part of that is that, so most of my like understanding of conversation is like, I explain that I can see like a children's coloring. Yeah. And then I need lip reading to be able to put the black lines in.
Okay.
And you're like, oh shit, it's a dog.
Yeah.
And I still don't, I have a really difficult time understanding kids now because their voices are out of the range that I can hear.
Yeah.
And they often have like speech complications to be able to lip read, and only about 30% of spoken English can be actually lip read, as like the rest is context and guesswork.
Yeah.
And so it's like predictive text. And if there's one thing children hate to do, it's speak in like a logically congruent pattern.
And then my dad and then my and then my and then
and so I'm like, yeah, of course I was weird growing up as a kid because I couldn't understand anybody. Yeah. But I think that pushed me, like, I love animals, and again I'm like, because of my biology, a very visually focused person, like a visually communication focused person, which I think lent itself really well to working with animals, which is why I went to college to do that and love horses and dogs and all the rest of it.
What did you study in college?
Fisheries and wildlife.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In Colorado?
No. Missouri.
Missouri. Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing they let me indoors at all.
Yeah. I mean, with those boots on, I feel like do you take those off when you go inside places, or you just...
Well, these are not...
These are your
I got indoor and outdoor
casual
boots.
boots, yeah.
Yeah, these are not boots that see a horse.
See, and I would not even think to have an indoor boot.
Yeah.
I love it, though.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I studied snakes. I went to school to work with snakes.
Okay.
That was my...
Parcel tongue.
What?
Learn some parcel tongue.
Exactly. But the snakes can't hear. They have no external ear. That's the difference between a snake and a legless lizard.
Okay.
Legless lizard's going to have an external ear, but they also don't have hands to learn sign language. So what an existential nightmare.
They have no shot to become friends with you.
No.
Damn.
I think we were friends.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Just like eye contact wise?
Yeah, they have their own personalities.
Yeah.
I managed a reptile exhibit.
Okay.
So I worked mostly with different kinds of snakes from Missouri. But
how long were you doing that?
A couple of years.
Okay.
I made $7.25 an hour to work with rattlesnakes.
That feels like they pay you so little you might start stealing snakes.
Yeah.
Like they should pay you more to be in charge of like
you would think.
Essentially like moving weapons.
Yeah, you would 100% think that there would be some sort of like deadly critter bonus.
Yeah, like, oh, you can rent them out for parties a couple times a week and keep the profits if you just don't lose them.
Yeah, 100%. You would think that like I think it makes sense that I was like, oh, stand up.
Yeah.
I can get rich doing that.
Yeah.
I can make probably
more than
$8.25. 100% it is, and I get bit way less.
Yeah,
not never, but less.
Yeah.
And that's all I ask for.
Well, you can't keep throwing yourself into the crowd like that when you're doing stand up.
I just go if you've got a snake hook for the crowd.
Come here.
Yeah, just wrangling them.
Yeah.
I do think it would be fun to do a show with a snake.
Yeah?
Yeah, like Brittany.
Yeah.
But
for comedy?
Yeah. The opportunity is never...
Would you just be doing comedy and not like dancing or anything?
Yeah, nobody wants me to dance with it.
The snake's just like ambiently just there. It's more of like a scarf at that point, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I feel like with Brittany, she was like using it.
Yeah, I know, but obviously I'm not going to do...
But yours is more of an accessory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just not
or
acknowledge
like a threat.
it.
Like if you start heckling, I'm going to throw it at you.
Just aim it at, laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking too large to throw.
Yeah. To like a python kind of vibe?
Yeah.
Boa constrictor. What? Yeah, you know more snake names than I do, I imagine, with the college degree.
Absolutely, I do. Yeah. The big Burmese python, like she had in the thing.
Okay. Yeah, I went to zoo camp for a couple of years, so I have a little bit of snake knowledge.
Okay.
But you're clearly the expert here.
Yeah, 100%. I will stake my claim. If you ever want to be info dumped at.
Yeah.
I love during comedy festivals. Bring me to your comedy festival and I will take a group to the zoo. I will take a group hostage to the zoo.
See, now I want to go to the zoo with you.
It's very fun. I'm going to be real mad about the snakes being fat.
Yeah.
A lot of zoo snakes are obese and I'm like, there's no reason.
Yeah. It's like lack of exercise, too much food kind of vibe? Or?
Well, I mean, you can't like walk them. So it's mostly a feeding thing.
Throw them away and have them come back. No, get over there.
Just put it on a treadmill.
Would that even... I guess, they move forward, so that would work.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine. I just feel like there'd be too much traction for a snake to move forward on a treadmill. I don't know. It'd send them backwards faster than they could go forward.
Immediately sucks them into the thing, and they're just looping around.
Oh my god.
Like one of those Play-Doh squeezer things.
Yeah, like a snake when it eats the rat, it just gets caught in the tube.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do this. It's a great idea. I don't understand why.
Bring us both to your comedy festival. Have snakes available.
Yeah.
We'll make it a good time.
I'll put it in my rider.
Yeah. Do you call it the same thing at the horse events? Your rider or your rider's rider?
Oh, that's really... I haven't thought... That's dumb.
You've never made a joke about the rider?
No.
Come on. A horse... Get me to write some horse jokes.
Oh, I'm not a good horse comedian. No, horse rider is cute.
Yeah.
No, I don't have anything in my rider. I just started working with a new producer, and she's like, "What do you want in your rider?" And I was like, don't hit me."
Yeah. Do you have an interpreter at the horse events as well?
No. So for comedy, I've historically not asked for interpreters for myself when I do comedy stuff, because as you know, it's an expense and it makes people way less likely to hire me.
Yeah.
And because it's an additional expense, their margins get even thinner.
Yeah.
And also, I know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a one-way street.
Yeah.
I'm not
You're not doing crowd work, except for your bit where you pretend to do crowd work and don't.
And if it's if the place is well lit and they're in front, then I can do crowd work.
Great.
And I've been pulling people towards the stage, making them stand up and walk towards me to do crowd work.
I love that.
I am enjoying it. Or sometimes I'll get off the stage and I'll walk real close.
Nice.
But yeah, I just historically haven't. I love when people request interpreters for my shows. I've also done shows in stand-up or in sign language, which is really fun. I got to do last year. I think I got to do an hour for an interpreting conference, and then I did we did a Don't Tell in Pittsburgh with the Pittsburgh Deaf Club there.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
with Ronnie and everybody.
Yeah, I love Ronnie.
Oh, yeah. Pittsburgh Don't Tell, shout out, incredible operation.
One of the best in the country. Yeah, the Pittsburgh scene is incredible.
So fun. Love that place.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, very deaf, very queer.
Yeah.
That's 100% my
love
vibe. It's like if Portland smoked cigarettes.
Yeah. And had a blue collar job.
Yeah. Worked
at a steel mill.
Yeah, it is Steel Mill Portland.
Yeah.
But that's always fun because I don't think jokes translate well across cultures or across languages.
Yeah.
So I do different jokes in English and ASL.
Yeah.
So there are jokes that I don't do in English.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Because I just don't think they're very funny.
Yeah, there's I know a Brazilian comic who does two different sets for his two different shows, just for the cultural references to kind of hit better. I
love talking to multilingual comics who perform in both languages and talking about the similarities and difference. I also, my second degree was interpreting.
Yeah. And
I used to have back in Missouri, I had the very basic state license.
Yeah.
To do deaf interpreting stuff. As a comedy nerd, I feel you can't not love the challenge of interpreting jokes.
Yeah.
What is the core of what's funny here, and how do you translate that?
Yeah.
Like, I was doing a bit about how last year I went on a date with a bunch of different doctors, medical doctors, and both my parents are medical doctors. I'm like, we don't have to talk about that. That's a load-bearing kink. Like, if we start to pick at it, the whole system comes down.
Yeah.
But I spent like probably an hour with this like round table of interpreters discussing like how to interpret load-bearing kink.
Oh, just that phrase,
like that concept, like what's conceptually accurate to transmit, like what's funny about that.
That's fun. It's fun to like. I imagine it's kind of cool to have like that kind of agency over the language too, because I feel like in English so much of it is like predetermined, but with less like people having already like having established texts from ASL. Like there's not really like, is there ASL like manuscripts, or how do you like record
there's very much
ASL?
There's like there's no, so ASL is a visual only language. There's no written or spoken equivalent. There are like methods of documenting ASL, like notation.
But I feel like with that, it's a much more collaborative language where like you guys decide what gets the point across most accurately versus like English, which I feel like there's a lot more like set in stone kind of predetermined things about it. No?
Yes and no. I mean, to me, it feels very much like sitting in a writer's room.
Yeah.
Like interpreting to me just feels like sitting in the writer's room and being like, you have this punchline.
Yeah.
Like, and then writing around it.
Okay.
Like ASL is a fully developed language with its own rules and its own grammar and syntax and vocab and everything. And then you have like the cultural aspect on top, like culturally what's funny, culturally what is like what deft humor traditionally is.
So it's the like crossing the boundary between is where you kind of find those like interpretations. It's like it's not the like language itself, it's the bringing it from English to ASL where you kind of find the routes to best convey that. Yeah,
it's the picking apart like what's funny about the concept.
Yeah.
Like, because again, you're not doing a word to word. That's the thing about comedy is a word to word translation often just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And so figuring out like what is the seed of what's funny in this, why is this joke funny?
Yeah.
And then figuring out ways to build to that in another language, like whether it's going from ASL to English or backwards.
Yeah.
It's a very fun challenge. It's also like to sit and have like spirited linguistic debates with a bunch of professionals about like the dumbest thing in the entire world, like a dick joke. There's nothing better. I used to, when I lived in New York, I used to get together with a group of interpreter and like deaf ASL teacher friends, and we would drink and play Cards Against Humanity.
Nice.
And the spirited debates that about like how to sign pooping back and forth forever.
Yeah.
Like,
I love that. Yeah, because that game is just exclusively phrases that probably don't
have never
come ASL like
that like don't
thing.
Directly
translate.
It's all concept.
It's like a fun creativity exercise for you guys.
Yeah.
That's fun. With performing in ASL, do you find it to be like more fun in any way, just like with how much like visual like performance you have to do, or is it the same?
I think it's the same. There are certain jokes that I prefer to tell in ASL versus English.
Because like, how much are you moving around on stage when you're performing in ASL? Like, because I know you're not like a super like, versus like John Marco, who's all over the place all the time.
Yeah.
I imagine like ASL would require you to be a little bit more like animated on stage.
You have to for something called non-manual markers.
Yeah.
So those are things that are not your hands that inform like grammar.
Yeah.
And like sentence structure and other information. So like to like make something a question, like you move your eyebrows up if it's a yes or no question or down.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to like run around for ASL, but it is like your signs get bigger if you're trying to like emphasize something or getting excited about something.
Yeah.
Like it is
That's interesting. I forgive me if this is a crazy association.
I'm so excited.
A lot of these concepts are similar concepts to what the guy that I used to work with, who was the puppeteer of Kermit the Frog for years. He like thinks a lot about these kind of like emotions and like how to best express those emotions through a puppet. That I think he would probably make a pretty good interpreter. Like with how much he like has to think about like how to convey emotions through like an inanimate object.
Yeah.
I feel like he's like you were saying with like the context of what you're saying, like adding those emotions to qualify whether it's a question or not. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think that if you're like once you know ASL, like it's pretty ingrained. It's just a part of the grammar, and like people do that in English too. Like for like if I ask you like so for a yes or no question, your eyebrows go up,
Yeah.
And for an open-ended question, your eyebrows go down. And if I'm like, so where are you from? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
like
that is crazy.
It's off-putting,
You guys
right?
didn't see that?
But if I'm like,
crazy.
so where are you from? Like, but if I'm like, where are you from?
Yeah.
Where are you from? Or like, do you want to go get lunch after this? Crazy.
You're mad at me.
Disconcerting. Whereas I'm like, you want to go get lunch after this?
Yeah.
Like, so there's all that grammar that's built in that we just don't think about. So it's less of a conscious thing, but certainly like when you're, especially performance interpreting, which I happen to love. I've got my my show tunes all locked and loaded for the drive-in we're due today. I'm so excited to nerd out about show tunes with John Marco.
Yeah,
but
he'll get into it.
Yeah, like the performance interpreting, like figuring out what the nuances and conveying that, like and integrating it with everything else is really fun.
Yeah, that's great. So going back to kind of like earlier in your life, how did you find out that you had this? Like, what was the process of kind of discovering it?
Being hard of hearing?
Yeah.
Or funny?
I mean, either one. Both at the same time, wherever.
So when I was like 3-ish, both my parents are medical doctors. And when I was like 3-ish, 2-ish, 3-ish, they realized that I was like very chatty, but like not if I couldn't see them. And so they weren't testing like every baby. Like now they would do the required like bear testing.
Yeah.
Like brainstem auditory evoked response, I think is what it means. But they weren't doing that when I was born. And so my parents, I think it was my mom, like started to be like, there's something's happening.
Yeah.
And took me in the car because I was sitting behind her in a car seat and was asking me like, Hayden, do you want to go to McDonald's? Like, do you want a puppy? Like, do you want to go to the toy store? And just I was not responding at all.
Didn't go up.
Right. And so she was like, I think you would respond to these.
Yeah.
Because you're a fat ass that loves animals.
Tail
like,
didn't start wagging.
Right. Exactly. So it's like,
yeah.
I mean, kind of the same way we find out if my dogs are deaf. I'm like, I think you would be interested if you knew this was happening.
Yeah.
And then they took me and did a bunch of testing, and I'm the only person in my family who's deaf or hard of hearing with no family history, which is true for 90% of all deaf and hard of hearing people are born into families who don't.
Because I know there's probably some genetic conditions that attribute to it, but it's a lot of times just kind of a thing that develops on its own.
Yeah, I mean, it can be one-off, or there's like genetic components that are like hereditary. Like I just had an interpreter in Wisconsin who was like a wonderful interpreter.
Yeah.
And I was like, so how did you learn ASL? Or no, she told me that her 3 kids are deaf. Okay. And I'm like, well, that rules.
Yeah.
I was like, were you already an interpreter when you like had deaf kids? And she goes, oh, my parents are deaf. Yeah, I was already an interpreter. It's my first language. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That makes way more sense.
What a qualified mom for those
yeah,
kids.
I know. I was like,
I'm so happy for those kids that they have that mom. That's
great.
Great.
Totally. That rules.
You love to see when like someone with like extra needs is put in the exact right environment for that. You're like, oh, well, that couldn't have worked out any better. Like,
yeah, it was so cool. But her parents were deaf, which is why like she knew that she carried it genetically. It was a possibility for her kids, and she was already an interpreter. Sign language is her first language. But for me, it was nobody else in the family. So we did a bunch of, and I'm the oldest kid.
Yeah.
So they did a bunch of like karyotyping and genetic testing to see if it was something else on top of it. And it's not like an established thing. I have like a deletion of an allele on a chromosome that they think is responsible.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it's called. Couldn't tell you any more than that.
And that's not your responsibility.
No.
You being expected to know all that, ableist.
No, that's, exactly. Yeah. That's science.
Get that out of here.
Yeah.
We're not scientists. We're just disabled people being alive.
100%.
We don't have to know everything about our thing. That is like, people will like, I like raising awareness for it, but like, there's only so much I can really do, like information-wise, before I'm like, I am speaking out of my ass right now. I need you to talk to a doctor about the rest of this. Like, I can tell you what it's like to be a person with it, but I can't tell you fully what the medical, like, ins and outs of everything are.
Yeah, 100%. But I feel like what it's like to be a person with it is what's missing so often.
Well, you talk to, like, doctors. That's a big reason I did that heart surgery specialist when I was finally told that I had to get it. I was able to reach out to a bunch of friends who've had the same surgery, but then I was looking online just to see if there's any like resource guides or whatever. It's all just like, so step 1, they cut you open. Step 2, they put the scalpel in here. I'm like, okay, I don't need a POV from the scalpel. I want the person's perspective. Like, how is it for a human being going through this?
Yeah.
And so I was trying to like distill that human experience part,
100%. And it's something I talk, because I even doing stand up at college is like, I get to meet a lot of people who are like speech language path students.
Yeah.
And like audiology students, like crazy that those people come out for my stuff. But
right.
like a lot of what I talk to them about is like not in my stand-up so much, but afterwards, or if I'm doing public speaking, is I talk about like so much of this diagnosis, like any of the diagnosis process for anything, like the first line. I would say the overwhelming majority of people don't have any experience. Like, I don't know if your family had any experience with Marfan's before you were diagnosed.
Yeah, spontaneous mutation.
So you come into it and you're a parent with a kid, or you are being diagnosed with this thing.
Yeah.
And like the medical people are the first line.
Yeah.
They're the first responders to that.
Yeah.
And so like they're so responsible for shaping how people feel about it for the rest of their lives.
That's true.
And there's so little of that like counter narrative. Like I'm actually pretty like my parents, when I was diagnosed, they're like, okay, like is Hayden going to be able to go to school? Yeah, I can go to school.
Yeah.
Like all things considered, like it's not like, I was going to be like, it's not like a profound loss. It is a profound loss and a high and low frequency. But but I mean, do you know what I mean? It's not like,
it's not something that you like, because you've never lived life a different way. So like, how would you're just not going to live your life because like something happened before you were born? Like,
yeah, again, I don't feel like my life is like markedly worse. There are like things that the struggles that I experience are different.
Yeah.
And like, I think that I experience things that people don't. Like there are struggles that I experience that people don't.
Yeah.
And like a lot of this, like growing up with this was really difficult.
For sure.
For a multitude of ways, and in some ways is still really difficult.
Yeah.
But like there's when you get hit with those medical people and the medicalized perspective of disability, like right out of the gate, there's no one to say like, yeah, you're going to have heart surgery, like, but you're going to get a kick-ass special out of it.
Yeah, it's going to be fine. Like, you just do these 3 things to make yourself more comfortable, and then you'll be good. Like, it's like, that's what I got from all my friends who've had it. And I'm like, oh, why can't everyone have a support system like this? Because, like, that's a big part of my diagnosis when I was a kid. I was diagnosed at 11, and then I just went home and Googled Marfan syndrome. Like,
which you don't want to do.
All my doctors were like, oh, yeah, you'll be fine. But, like, that's their job to tell me that.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, sure. And then I went home and Googled it, and it was like, oh yeah, the lifespan's approximately 30. And then I just started spiraling for 3 years until I went to Marfan conference and met like hundreds of people, some of which in their 70s with Marfan syndrome. And it took that to like kind of get me out of that rut, because I just like only had the medical perspective on it. So you need that community, I think, to like allow yourself to not only deal with it as if it's like a medical problem, but as just a part of you. Like, I think it helps you accept it if it provides something other than hardship to your life, you know? Yeah.
And like now that I'm an adult and I'm a part of the deaf community and I'm immersed in that world, I would not trade it for anything.
I feel the same way. Yeah,
like,
it sucks, but like to have the thing, but I'm so glad that I have these friends as a result of that, to the point where I would not get rid of the thing. I don't even really feel like it's, I mean, there are things that are, especially because I don't live 100% of my time in the deaf community. Like, there are things that suck, but I'm like, mostly it's fine. Like it brings so much more to my life than it's ever taken away. So what you're saying is we need to start a deaf commune where you're the leader of this commune. That's just invite people out to the farm.
It is
start a cult.
Gallaudet. Yeah, I mean it is, but it is like that. Like I enjoy the community and the culture and the people that I have met because of it. Like it's I tell people, like, again, like when I'm talking to parents of newly diagnosed kids or people who are late deafened, and where I'm talking to like speech therapists or audiology students, like when you're talking about like there are going to be difficulties and this is what we're going to have to work on, like it also for me has been a like free ticket, like a stamp pass to a community that I love. Yeah. It'd be like, I mean, it's like having a free ticket to a place that you want to go visit. Yeah. Like,
I feel like as humanity, we seek connection so much. It's like such a core part of our being that like, and so many people don't have something so distinctly like at the forefront of their identity that they can use to connect with people like that. So like having a disability, it's a good way to do it. Like I think with me in particular, the Marfan community, they're my family essentially at this point. Yeah. Which gets hard because the thing that brings us together is a life-threatening genetic disorder. So like you have the results of that where you know, I've lost friends who were under 30 to like complications and stuff like we had a teenager pass away a few days before a Marfan conference a couple of years ago, and it would really, like it's tough to like process those losses, but then you come into the conference and you have like one of the most memorable, like joyous weekends of your life. And then like the whole time this person is being talked about and mentioned and like honored. And so just like, even if things do turn tragic, which unfortunately is like a side effect of having a disabled community or at least with Marfan syndrome in particular, it like, even in the harder parts of it, we still end up benefiting from that community as a whole. Yeah. Even if you have to be associated with like more loss in your life, it's worth having those people to begin with, you know?
Yeah. And deafness is just, you just can't hear. Yeah, so it's kind of a freebie on that one. I mean, like, but that's like the thing that I've enjoyed watching your stuff, because that's and talking with you and being friends, because again, that's like doing disability rights activism work.
Yeah.
Like what I talk about is intersectional accessibility.
Yeah.
So like being mindful of the fact that there are so many different intersecting factors, and not just like our marginalized identities, but there's so many different aspects like to all of who we are that inform how people feel about everything. But like recognizing the fact that you're probably like being deaf probably isn't going to kill you.
Yeah.
Like there are some genetic disorders that are associated with deafness that like can cause medical issues, but like it's not painful. Like I didn't have to have heart surgery. Like it's not something that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that. But
then at the same time, I don't have to deal with a constant loss of like this thing that hinders interaction with like a normal community. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to take extra steps when interacting with the non-accessible world, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, like...
So we all have different kind of... There's different things that it gives you, different things that forces you to kind of deal with.
Navigate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's so interesting to be able to have these conversations and like, I guess with such radically different perspective.
A different flavor of disabled.
Yeah, different
nice
different genre.
Board. Yeah. So I want to talk about, you mentioned your dog.
My dogs?
Yes. Well, so you specifically your blind deaf dog. How many of them are disabled? Your dogs? Is it just the one?
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
That's what I thought. I thought
you
they
think
all.
This is fucking amateur hour?
Yeah.
No.
I was like, she didn't just do one.
No, I commit to a bit.
Yeah.
So I have 4 dogs, of whom 3 are deaf or deafblind or both. They're deaf or deafblind. So my oldest dog's name is Pinkman, that handbag over there.
With the human teeth.
With the human teeth, people teeth. And she's just deaf. So they all have the same genetic disorder.
Yeah.
They're called double Merles. It's a pigment-related auditory disorder.
Okay.
The closest thing to people would probably be Waardenburg syndrome.
Okay.
So if you've ever seen the person, like a deaf person with like a super cool white streak in their hair and like bright blue eyes, that's Waardenburg.
Oh, that's cool.
And I have a friend with Waardenburg who's always like, sorry you didn't get like the hot deaf gene. Oh, sorry you didn't get like the fairy princess like Rogue from X-Men deaf gene. Oh yeah, sorry you just got the disability and none of the hot.
It's like when I run into people who are like 5'2" with Marfan syndrome, they're like, God damn it.
Oh, like what's the point?
What's the point of even having a heart condition
that's
if I don't even get to be 7 feet tall?
I know, it's what I tell her all the time. I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
Like, trust, I know. What, like,
I also
bullshit.
wish I looked like a character from Atlantis. Yes,
yeah,
I get
it. Yeah. I'm not Dom. But so I got Pinkman because when I was teaching ASL at the University of Missouri, like when I was the TA for the program, one of my students, Kristen, worked at the animal shelter, and she was like, we have a deaf puppy. Do you want it? And I was like, no, I don't want a border collie. I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
And then obviously I immediately adopted the dog.
Nice.
And then Bitsy is an Australian Shepherd, and she is completely deaf and completely blind.
Okay.
She sees nothing, hears nothing. And so I love Bitsy, and I teach a workshop about accessibility, like where I talk about Bitsy, because I've had Bitsy since she was 5 weeks old.
Yeah.
I bottle fed her, and Bitsy and now she's 9 or 10, and she's experienced in that time no character growth, she's been 100% who she was from the moment that she got here, and she's like very much a spoiled, entitled little pig.
Good.
And it's because people are so nice to her because they feel so bad for her because she's deaf and blind. But she's a dog, and she's never, like, I've had her since she was a baby. She's never experienced hardship ever. So she just struts around and, like, demands things.
Yeah.
And, like, if Bitsy doesn't get second dinner, it's a crisis for her. And I just love that that's, like, not what people's expectations of anything disabled are, a person or otherwise, that she's, like, the spoiled monster because she's not, like, there's nothing, like there's nothing like tragic and beautiful about Bitsy. Like she is a little pig who's rooting around like, give me your stuff.
Yeah.
So she's
funny,
awesome.
Like I think the more the world is willing to accommodate people with disabilities, the more disabled assholes we'll get. And I kind of love that. I love that we don't all have to be like in the, sad black and white commercials with the music playing.
100%. And I do my part to be a huge bitch in every possible context, to dispel stereotypes, to break down boundaries. But I love that about Bitsy, that she's just a monster.
Yeah.
And then my newest dog, Creech, who I just got in June, is deaf and visually impaired. Short for Creature. Oh, yeah. But she's deaf, so you can call her whatever. Yeah. But
she also has a dog, so even if you...
Yeah, she's not going to come when you call her.
She didn't know. Yeah.
So I just got her from Kentucky this summer.
Yeah.
And she also got hit by a car. So she's got some...
She couldn't hear it. Was she deaf before the car or after the car?
Before. She was born deaf and with her vision loss. But she, I'm like, I'm like, I don't know if she saw it or heard, or like, obviously she didn't hear it. She might have seen it. She loves cars. Like, she didn't hold a grudge. Like, if she gets out of the yard, she just runs straight to my car, my girlfriend's truck. And I'm like...
That's cute.
Yeah.
It's cute, but also like, all right.
Queen.
You can only get hit by so many cars.
Yeah,
Creech,
this is not Frogger, bud. Like, you gotta wise up.
Find a new special interest other than something that can kill you.
She loves, like, tractors and anything, like, car related. I'm like, girl, you can love them, but you gotta...
Love them from a distance.
Yeah, maintain a perimeter,
long-distance relationship.
But she's also got the physical disability side of that. So she's got some trouble moving. She's got some trouble... Just a little wonky.
And then the fourth dog is not disabled?
She can see in here. We don't talk about Squonk.
And is she the youngest, or?
No, Squonk is the third.
Oh, yeah.
Her name is... I named her after a noise she made when she fell off the couch.
Okay.
Squonk. Also, I feel like if you're going to have a dog that can hear, it's got to have a great name.
Yeah.
The rest of them, it's flexible.
Right.
But Squonk is... And she can see in here, and it's like, I love Squonk.
Yeah.
She's a wonderful dog. She was before Creech, she was the last dog I had. She was the newest dog. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm never going to have a dog that can hear again. Never.
Why is it? Just like not relatable?
I mean, it just is like, I don't know. I love deaf dogs.
Yeah.
I think they're great. And like, sometimes it's nice. Like the fact that I can call Squonk from anywhere in the house is kind of cool.
Yeah.
That feels like a very fancy feature.
Yeah.
That feels very like,
standard issue dog feature,
like remote start BMW, but because the rest of them don't have it.
Right.
But like I hate like that. Like I can't sneak out. Like if she's sleeping and I like getting up this morning to come here, like she wakes up and then wakes everybody else up, and I'm like, come on, dude. Yeah. Or like that when I lived in New York, I had Bitsy and Pinkman, and I had my sighted hearing pit bull Gimli, who passed away. But Gimli was way more wigged out living in New York than the deaf blind dogs, because like he could hear stuff in an apartment. And like they're great. Like they didn't hear jack shit. Yeah. Like they were great. So
city
it's just
dogs.
They're great city dogs. They love being in the city. But
and that's that bag you have. That's Pinkman.
That's Pinkman.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is it made out of?
It's felted. Do you want me to go get it?
Yeah. Just
let me.
I thought it was like skin of something.
Kind of.
Hold for a moment while she retrieves the cutest, also scariest purse I've ever seen. This is Pinkman the dog. Is that like a horse saddle strap on that?
No. I found this lady on Instagram.
Okay.
She's from Ukraine, and she makes these.
This is a wartime purse.
Yeah, she makes these hand felted animal portrait bags, and I think they're amazing.
Yeah.
And but they have a very spooky Tim Burton-esque quality to them that I felt like very much.
So do all your dogs. So
100%. Yeah, so I felt like this. Okay, if any artist can capture Pinkman's essence,
didn't do the teeth, but
no,
you'll
thank
just
God.
have to find a corpse to rob.
Yeah, just some old dentures. Yeah. Just go to a nursing home on clean out day.
Steal it out of the cup.
But she, I was like, if anybody can capture Pinkman's je ne sais quoi, it's going to be her. And I think she nailed it.
I agree.
As a hobby, I also, because I'm insane, So my dogs have genetic disorders. So they like, I have border collies and Australian shepherds, but you can't like, I can't go to the store and buy something with it on there that looks like them.
Yeah.
Because it's like a significant genetic disorder that they don't want to like breed for.
Yeah.
And so I can never find anything that looks like my dog. So I love to have custom handbags commissioned like to look like my pets. So this I think is handbag 4 or 5 that I've had. I have one of my horse Squid. I have another Pinkman. I have a Bitsy. It's what a fun, weird. People can just do stuff in their own home, but having custom handbags commissioned to look like my pets.
Do you think the dogs are honored to be carried around? Like,
no, I don't think they care particularly. But the one I have is like the other ones I have are just faces. Like this lady does these awesome like quilted bags, and their mouths open up.
That's cute.
Yeah, it's it's like, scary, but it's got teeth in it. It's great.
Oh, it's got teeth. Okay.
Yeah, I do really.
And
I
didn't do the teeth for Pinkman.
No, that was her decision. I think I sent some pictures of the teeth, but she said, "Well,
I don't want to do that."
Yeah, she's like, I don't need to invoke all that.
Yeah, she said, "Well, I don't want to bring a curse upon my home."
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. I get it, Queen. It's too late for me. Save yourselves. But I think she did a really good job.
Yeah,
I think it's very particularly well made. The beady, lifeless little
truly,
eyes.
For just a moment, thought it was a living creature when you walked up. I was like, "Oh, did you bring one of her dogs?"
Yeah, no, I like that it. I really like how unsettled people are by Pinkman.
Yeah.
Because I'm always uncomfortable, and I feel like if I can make the other person more uncomfortable, then I've won the interaction, and there's no need for me to feel weird.
Yeah.
And I feel like Pinkman lends herself to that, and so if I can bring a little bit of her magic with me.
Yeah. Like a familiar.
Yeah, like a very shitty familiar.
Yeah. I like that.
I do too. Her only powers is making people feel really uncomfortable.
Hey, and that's a lot of people's only power.
And that's stand up, baby.
Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah, but she's like less of a like direct threat to your personhood.
That's true.
I feel like she's just more like
the vibes are bad.
Yeah, just like when a horror movie, everything kind of has like a green tint to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like she's like a Chekhov's gun. You're like, oh, that's coming back.
Some strings coming in the background as soon as she walks into the room, just like ominous. Yeah. But I think it's good.
She's just a little like, just a little unsettling nightmare thing. Just make everybody a little bit like.
But that's nice.
Yeah, it's great to have.
You want a little nemesis in your home.
It's wonderful. It keeps me on my toes.
And then, so your horses, none of them have disabilities?
Well, not on purpose.
Other than. Just being dumb sometimes.
Well, I do think that Nugget has something going on. Like he doesn't process in the way like a typical horse, and so I wonder if maybe he didn't get enough oxygen at birth, or something along those lines. But then my horse Debbie is an Appaloosa, which is a breed that is known to frequently have eye issues and blindness.
Okay.
And when I got Debbie, I was like, oh, it's crazy that she doesn't have that. She does have it. She's just so chill that nobody noticed.
Oh.
She's like legit. Her vision is not good at all.
Yeah.
But she's just like, sure, girl, I'm down.
Yeah.
But like I had taken her to obstacle courses and like through the mountains before I realized like I took her to a friend's round pen, which is just like a circular fence that you use for like working on stuff. Mm-hmm. And I took her in there and she just immediately started crashing into stuff. And I was like,
but she didn't crash on the mountains?
No, I mean she like stumbled a little bit, but she feels around with her feet.
Wow.
Again,
that's impressive.
It's so impressive. And I love because she's not. Sometimes it goes the other way with horses if they can sort of see or spooked by everything.
Yeah.
But Debbie's taken a real, like, not my business approach to everything.
You've raised your disabled children right. They accept the aspects of them and they power through. I love it.
I mean, I had nothing to do with Debbie. She was just like that. But she's just like, if I can't see it, it's not my business.
I don't know. I feel like cultivating an environment where like she's never in danger as a result of her disability is a big part of like not being super freaked out by it. Like she's never had an example of like, oh, well, when I step forward without being able to see, this bad thing happens. You know?
Yeah. So. Thank you. And I didn't raise her from like a foal, so I can only take partial credit. But I agree, and I say the same with my my deaf and deafblind dogs.
Yeah.
Like. Part of the reason they're so bold, like Bitsy and Pinkman lived in New York with me. We did dog sports. We did adaptive dog sports with them.
Special Olympics dog edition.
Their special Paw Olympics happen in Ohio. Yeah, it's really cute.
I bet that's adorable.
But like, we have been like canoeing and kayaking and like through the Ozarks, and like we've done all sorts of cool stuff, but it's because they're bold enough to try it, because I've never let something bad happen. And I also, like, when I teach my workshops about disability and I talk about creating intersectional accessibility, and people always want to know, like, how did you teach your dogs to do that? I'm like, I just didn't teach them that they couldn't. Yeah. So, like, I have a friend from college, Gina, who is blind, and Gina rode her bike everywhere. And I like, you're like, is that a good idea? But Gina, like, just wasn't willing to take no, you can't ride a bike because you're blind for an answer, and like had a mechanism to like attach her cane to the front. Wow. It was so cool. And it's like, because she just didn't take, nobody taught, like nobody, I'm sure people society taught Gina that you're blind, you can't ride a bike, but she wasn't willing to like, she didn't internalize that. Yeah. And I think so much of like, what can you or can't you do with your disability is like, that is like what people tell you can or can't do. And maybe that's different with like a heart condition. Yeah. But like,
well, specifically with like the blind example, another weird tangent story. I did a job one summer where I did like live electrical work, and the guy who taught me to do it was blind. Like, he described his vision as like, I can see a little bit in the middle like this. Yeah. And then he was like showing me how to do this live electrical work, but like, he was like fucking up. Like, it was like exploding in front of his eyes, and he was like, yep, and then there you go. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So it's like, it's cool. Like, I admired the hell out of the confidence, but then also I think there's like, he had never had someone who like acknowledged that his condition was real. Like, he's been kind of just left on his own to figure things out. So he's never even had like a support system to help him optimize the way he lives his life. You know? Yeah. He's just kind of drinking dirt and hoping for the best.
Yeah. And I think if you can find the balance between those two things,
I think it's then like just interesting to see someone who like has a support system versus doesn't, and with that like kind of boldness, you know?
Yeah. That's a really interesting point. Yeah. But like, yeah. Do I 100% believe that somebody with his level of vision could be a great electrician? 100%.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
And I mean, none of the buildings he did burned down, so he shocked himself, and that was really the only issue.
Bitching for nothing.
So it's like,
yeah, and that's a personal choice. Yeah. But yeah, it's just whether or not you have the support system that's willing to work and to figure out how are we going to do this, as opposed to just a can or can't.
Yeah, exactly. Interesting. Well, hell yeah. Thank you for talking. I think we're coming up on like an hour.
I clearly love to chatter.
I love it too. We'll do another episode next time I'm in Denver. We'll just keep chatting.
Yeah.
Is like, as a final kind of note, is there anything you would want to say to someone who is like either a young person with your same kind of condition or newly diagnosed with your condition, as like you can say it to camera, as like a message for future?
Whatever you want to do with that is your decision. So if you want to continue like voice for yourself and like become a stand-up comedian, you can do that. If you want to like take your implant or your hearing aids off and go voice off and fully immerse yourself in the deaf community, you can do that. Like you have like the same amount of control over your life. This is just something to like navigate, like to manage and navigate with and not against.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.